Time for Sports on the Bayou, a detailed account of the sports scene in Louisiana. Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury will break down the weekly Saints game, brought to you by the American flag, as well as the St. Martin and Bourke weekly LSU breakdown. Harry Mccullough will bring us the Louisiana's Cajun Bayou Lafourche Parish segment, featuring key games of local interest. Dr. Pat, our favorite ENT, is always on top of the
asking all them questions. Why you asking all them questions? Make a statement.
Stan Grava will bring us local pertinent medical sports information as well as high school sports. Martin False, that's me, will open up the mics in the crowd to see what's on the fans' mind. More talk and plenty of audience questions. Live from the Eugene and Lorraine Falls studios in Houma, Louisiana, it's time for Sports on the Bayou. And here's Mike Detillier.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another version of Sports on the Bayou. Mike Detillier, the Cajun Cannon, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury. Got a lot to talk about today, and we'll be right back with more Sports on the Bayou.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember Lafourche.
Here at South Louisiana Bank, we support our neighbors, the organizers, the helpers, the leaders, the dreamers. We support those that move our community forward. Louisiana has grown from the dedication, commitment, and loyalty of the people who call this beautiful place home. We are proud to offer our services to the communities in South Louisiana. South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bourke, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. This normally would be our Saints segment, but with the Saints off this weekend, guys, certainly the big news over the weekend, Coach O basically being released from his contract after this football season. It was a big win, and we'll talk about it in the next segment against Florida. This comes really as no surprise. You could kind of see the tsunami building up in the water after him. And, you know, you lose
especially after the Kentucky game.
And normally one game a year, all the Board of Supervisors, top alumni.
That happened with Les Miles in the Auburn game?
It happened the same way. They were in Auburn that week, and then they were in Lexington, and that decision was made. Came up with a quick deal about a weekend. And so Coach O is out after this season. He'll coach the regular season. And he did tell me that if they make it to postseason, he'll coach that game too. I do think immediately after the regular season, okay, this is on a Saturday, the new coach will be hauled in to Sunday.
Right.
It'll be really quick. They will have somebody in place, and it just won't be a Scott Woodward decision. I think the new president, William Tate, will have a lot to say on who walks in that door as the new head football coach at LSU.
Yeah, you got to be willing to understand this day and age we're living in. And all I'll look at if you're qualified or not. I don't care if you're black, white, Asian, whatever, or are you qualified. Whether you're a president of a university or you're the head coach, that's just where we're at this day and age. You look at the 21st century, where we're at, and I think even though Woodward has a lot of stroke, they ain't doing nothing without William Tate, the president. I can tell you he wants to consider candidates of color. Little surprise then. You look at Michigan State head coach Mel Tucker, who is African-American. He was a one-time LSU assistant coach under Nick Saban, is now kind of the betting favorite. You know, you can bet on anything. Who's going to be the LSU next coach? And I think
he's hanging around with me way too much.
Yeah, and I think moving
I'm not
ahead,
enough. Here's my money.
Yeah,
give me that money. I'll put it on Tucker for you.
And Rich, I'm going to bring this up because I want your opinion. LSU's next coach moving ahead. We all know Lane Kiffin, how prolific the Ole Miss offense is, and where he's at right now. What have you done for me lately? Luke Fickell, look where they ranked with the Cincinnati Bearcats. And Rich, that's what I asked you. Penn State's coach, James Franklin, who's also African-American. James Franklin looks like he's from New Orleans. He looks as Creole could be.
But he's a Pennsylvania guy.
He's a Pennsylvania guy. Villanova coached out there.
But then you look at Franklin, he might be, I don't know.
Bobby, he's a lot like you. You know what chimes his deal? Money.
And hedging his bets, he's going to use USC, LSU, maybe against Penn State. Come on, that's just, I'm a capitalist. I'm not against that.
Well, you know, he just signed a contract 2 years ago, a huge contract.
Yeah, but that don't make any difference.
Right, it doesn't make any difference anymore.
Don't make no difference.
The world could care less. They could care less about your social practices. They could care less about it. Just win, baby, right? Where would you earn that?
And
it doesn't matter. Money means nothing.
That's what Woodward did say. All this off-the-field stuff.
It's crap. It's a bunch of crap.
Did you win or lose?
Right.
That's the bottom line. Are you a winning coach or are we losing? And that, to me, and Woodward said nothing about what Coach O, what happened off the field. Come on, Urban Meyer. You talk about off the field, off the court, or whatever. You look at any position.
Rick Pitino,
at the pizza place.
They want to attack success. It's just the way our society is. You're successful. I mean, how has anybody criticized a Tom Brady in the world? When I hear people do that, or even Drew Brees,
I guarantee you, Tom Brady got skeletons in the closet, but nobody knows because he's so successful.
Right.
And he got a good team around him to protect him, too.
Yes, you got to have those right people around you to protect you. Amen.
Well, if you
but dirty laundry,
if they're not, they won't.
Dirty laundry does sell.
Of course
it's like National Enquirer stuff. Dirty laundry does sell.
But it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Why does the human being love gossip? We all love gossip. Oh, did you hear this? Did you hear that?
The NFL is a reality show right now. If you want to go, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't matter what they do. Doesn't matter how bad they are. Doesn't matter who gets arrested.
Al
who beats
Davis
their wives.
said this. Al Davis,
they love it.
Love or hate of Al Davis. Al Davis, come on, he was suing the other owners in the NFL. We all on the same team. What he said, just win, baby.
That's it.
Just win. That's the bottom line. You got to win.
Yeah. Okay, we have some excerpts from the press conference with Coach O and also Tiger Athletic Director Scott Woodward.
This is a bittersweet day. And the reason I say bittersweet is that the sweet part is I came here and yesterday we had a hell of a game. And the thing about it is Coach Orgeron has beat the Gators 3 times in a row. And that's all 3 years I've been here, Ed, and that's something I'm proud of. But I want you guys to know Ed Orgeron's a friend. We're both Louisiana guys through and through. We both deeply care about this football program. And I will always be grateful for Coach Orgeron for leading the Tigers to the greatest season in the history of college football. With that said, the job requires us to set personal feelings aside and make decisions that are ultimately best for LSU. At LSU, we expect to compete for SEC and national championships year in and year out. We are proud of that standard, and we'll always work to uphold it. Our last 2 seasons have simply not met that standard.
I knew the expectation of LSU when I took the job. I told you that. I understand the expectation. I invite them. And man, 2019, what a magical run. But you know what? Because of the players. We had great players, and we had great coaches here, and the players make this program, and you're able to recruit great players here at LSU. But I knew we had to sustain that momentum, and we had to sustain that standard. And I know that the last 2 years hasn't been the standard of LSU. So when he came and talked to me after the Kentucky game, I knew that it was time. And I understand that. I understand the expectations of LSU. And I invited myself, and we did not meet him the last 2 years. I'm honored that I got to be the head coach at LSU. This administration has treated me with class, with dignity. The whole time that I've been here, they've given me everything that we needed.
And we'll be back with more sports on the Bayou.
Was your business interrupted by Hurricane Ida? You may be entitled to compensation. Insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses, or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hoffa's Duval are partnering together to fight for your fair payout. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hoffa's Duval help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
If you have nasal breathing difficulties, snoring, mouth breathing, gritting and grinding of your teeth, TMJ, or headaches during the day, along with fatigue, depression, weight gain, you may have sleep apnea, which can easily be diagnosed via an in-office visit and home sleep study. If you or a loved one are having these symptoms and it's impacting your life, please schedule an appointment with us for an evaluation.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. The good news is Saturday, for the third straight time, LSU beats Florida 49-42. This is 7 out of the last 8 years. This game has come down to last possession, and sort of that's how it seals the deal. The one thing I can say is I think those guys in the locker room knew that this was it. And so they went out. They didn't play smart sometimes, because if you watch the Hail Mary, you wonder what the hell's going on.
That was the worst Hail Mary defense ever. Like, what? We're like 4 guys. What?
It's never worked.
Do you have common sense when you're a defender?
I don't know, but I think they played hard for it.
I had thought LSU would lose. I go, man, because that damn Hail Mary, but then we came back. You handle adversity. But, Mike, that was the worst Hail Mary defense in history.
You got one guy, his back is actually turned to the football. He's looking in the stands. My thing is, what are you looking at?
And the other guy's going low to intercept. What? That other guy in front of you is going to catch it. How about you go knock the ball out? I mean, I don't know.
But you came out with the W, man. Just think, if Ogeron's catching heat in Baton Rouge and New Orleans, what about Todd Grantham, the defensive coordinator at Florida, and Dan Mullen? This is 3 losses for them, and they got Georgia on the schedule.
3 years in a row, Mike, they've lost to the Tigers. He's now 3-10 against LSU. If you look at it, he became the Florida coach in 2018. But as a head coach at Florida and Mississippi State, he's 2-7 against the LSU Tigers. So when you look at it, Florida's not had success against the LSU Tigers since Steve Spurrier. When you look at dominated the series, but as of late, whatever different. Lately, LSU fans, we got to beat Nick Saban in Alabama. The Florida Gators, they look at the largest cocktail party when they play the Georgia Bulldogs. LSU's not even their chief rivalry, but they say, well, we cross over, we got to beat them. Well, if you look at this, they've lost 9 of the last 12 games against LSU. What? The natives are restless.
That sounds like what you would tell me. Mike, there ain't no rivalry between South and Central Lafourche. You got to win one every once in a while.
No,
you got to win one every once in a while.
It got to be kind of not a 50-50, but at least 60-40. It can't be 90.
Nothing close.
I want to go back. We have time. I want to go back to Coach O. He's got the dream job right now. You got prepaid to coach the rest of the season with no pressure. You could win one game. You could win 7. It doesn't matter. 6, right? What a great coaching job. Just go coach and have fun.
I was his roommate in college. If you'd have told me we flashing back, you go through a time tunnel, whatever, reverse, and we roommates in 1980, 81. If we'd have said, Bebe, I'd have been like, you know what? You know what's going to happen to you in the future? I mean, like Notre Dame or something, whatever. What's going to happen? You're going to have probably, arguably, if not the best college season ever, undefeated to winning a national championship. And you're going to be a multi-millionaire at 60 years of age.
And they're going to pay you $17 million not to coach.
Not to coach.
So where do I sign up? Where do I sign up?
I guess so.
If you're keeping it real.
He's in a great spot.
That's why I'm not feeling sorry. Come on. What, man?
I don't think anybody's feeling sorry for him.
No, the thing is, Jim Kelly told me this, the old Buffalo Bills quarterback, after Joe Ferguson. He told me, man, my dad got laid off. Now, Pittsburgh, tough, and he's a steel worker, and all that. And he was like, man, I got laid off, and I got 6 mouths to feed. It's about anxiety and stress. Now, that's stress. That's pressure.
Not when you're getting $1 million check every 3 months.
If you got a roof over your head and you got food to eat, everything else is lanyard. Come on.
Apparently, Coach O's got a few mouths to feed as well, but we don't know about that, right?
No, what? I don't know.
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry.
No, he's cheap. He ain't as cheap as this one, but he's cheap too. We're going to go to the highlights of LSU's win over Florida.
I don't know about those extra kids.
Dameon Pierce goes in for the touchdown, and Homer's own Mason Smith comes up with the block of the extra point, makes it 6-0, but then this is the start of it. Tyron Davis-Price breaks an LSU record in the first one, 18-yard touchdown run. And then Max Johnson to Jared Jenkins. What a big game. 28-yard touchdown pass for the Tigers.
Mike, if you look at it, he was targeted 4 times. He caught all 4 50 yards. He had just 10 catches, 129 yards in the first 6 games.
And, Bob, this is your favorite play.
Oh, my God. It's like, what are they doing back there?
Number 31, come on, you got to turn around, dude. The ball's in front of you, not in the stands.
That is the worst Hail Mary defense ever in history.
And then right off the bat, bang, LSU gets a touchdown. Dwight McCullough comes in for the score, 37 yards. And you say, man, LSU going to win this game pretty easily. But you know the series, and you knew what happened. They changed quarterbacks. Anthony Richardson, man. That's a big dude. He runs in, 5-yard touchdown run. And then they go for 2, and Richardson again scores it. So now 28-21.
It's like an arena football game. I don't know.
But LSU's offensive line, which had not been good for the last year and a half, man, they opened up some holes. And Tyron Davis-Price, 40-yard touchdown run. But Florida answered. Anthony Richardson, Justin Short, a 5-yard touchdown play. And then again, now this is Richardson to Dameon Pierce. But they go right back and look the hole here for Tyron Davis-Price, 25-yard touchdown.
Well, if you look at that, Mike, he broke Herschel Walker's record for the most yards rushing against the Florida Gators in a single game. You got to go back to 1980 when Herschel Walker did that for 238 yards. So it's unbelievable. Listen, LSU don't want to acknowledge this, but Darius Geis had more yards, than you got Leonard Fournette. But no, this is the cat. That'll be a trivia question. Davis-Price is the ultimate single-game rushing leader.
Then Richardson throws this one up, and to end the game, Damian Clark comes up with the interception. Tigers end up winning it 49-42, and now Ole Miss on the schedule. And, man, I heard Lane Kiffin pull mouth and, man, I don't know if Matt Corral can play. Come on, I don't believe none of that BS. Matt Corral's going to play against LSU. Now, he may have other guys miss, but he ain't missing the game. That'll be interesting to see the Tigers defense go up against Matt.
No, because Ole Miss is 3rd in the FBS. They have 553 yards total offense. They're 5th in scoring, 44 points a game. So it's going to be a challenge for the defense. I think our offense should have
We'll be
success
back with more
against their
sports on the
defense.
Bayou.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember Lafouche.
Curtis Calais Welding has been providing contract labor for the offshore oil and gas industry for over 28 years. Curtis Calais Welding is now hiring. All applicants must have a TWIC card and be able to pass an occupational medical exam and a drug screen. Triple C Towing has a fleet of 2 inland tugs to provide service for the oil and gas industry. All vessels are provided with experienced personnel, and we do what we say we will do. Curtis Calais Welding, now hiring, and Triple C Towing, ready to work.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou, and I'm going to throw it to Martin. We want to miss Lorraine's back in the house. We've been missing her all this time. So happy birthday, Miss Lorraine.
All right. We got Mom back after a long evacuation, and it's Mama's birthday this weekend, for the past weekend. We're going to celebrate it today.
Yep.
And she has guests, Miss Tanner. She has the Calhouns and Miss Dee Dee's sister. Another friend of Mama is named Ida. We didn't invite her today. We'll let her come like later in the season, okay? Just kidding, all right? So wait, I'm gonna bring Joni in real quick because Bobby, Mama loves to come to the show, but what she loves more is when you sing happy birthday every year.
She must be the only one.
And Rich, put a little bass in it for him. Help him out a little bit.
I'll do the
Here we go, Mom.
And
got your little cake.
Like
Here we
Lawrence
go.
Hook, and a one, and a two. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Lorraine. Happy birthday to you.
There you go. And look, so Mama, I'm going to let Mama tell you she's happy to come back here.
I have to say, I really am happy to come back because I missed all of y'all. I watch y'all on TV every Tuesday and Thursday. So I'm glad to be back. Thank y'all.
Well, Miss Lorraine,
Yeah, she was in.
So what, you just turned, 79? Or what? You just,
Bobby, you can't ask that question.
No, she looks about 79. I'm being honest. I'm being reflective.
She said y'all all look better from Ruston.
She looks 10 years
Y'all all look better on TV a little bit.
She just said you
All
look
right.
better on TV. Don't go.
All right, look, we got to give kudos to our naming sponsors. We got Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. Give them a round of applause, one of our naming sponsors. And we have Chuck Bork, and I'm going to kick it to Chuck. St. Martin and Bork, one of our naming sponsors. And Chuck's going to defer because he's got a guest today. I'm not going to steal his thunder, and he wants her to say a few words.
Yes, Martin, I got a special guest today, Jennifer Armand, who's the executive director at Bayou Community Foundation. We've been talking the last few weeks about all the work that's been done, but we got a bunch of hurdles ahead of us, and BCF is doing some incredible work to make sure things continue, money continues flowing to those in need. Jennifer, I'm going to get you to talk about that a little bit.
Yes, thank you, Chuck.
And you do a great job. Before I'm even...
thank you, Mike.
I don't want to interrupt you, but you do a fabulous job.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mike. 2 days before the storm, Bayou Community Foundation opened the Bayou Recovery Fund for Hurricane Ida relief. And in the past 7 weeks, we have been able to raise over $5 million for recovery in our area. The best news of all is that in the past 7 weeks, we have granted out over $2 million to our local nonprofits for relief and recovery work. I mean, we're talking everything from food and supply distribution to housing assistance, temporary shelter, getting our teachers and students back in the classroom. So I just want to thank everyone who has supported us and let everyone know that Bayou Community Foundation is here now and for the many months and years ahead of us as we recover and rebuild stronger than ever.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Great job.
And if I can add one thing, we all get calls at times from people from out of town. Where can I send a check? What can I do? This group supports everybody.
Yep.
So everyone that's called me from out of town saying, hey, I'm looking to make a donation to somebody that's going to help everybody, send it to the Bayou Community Foundation. So just a little suggestion, if people are asking for where they can send money, these folks do an incredible job and are supporting everybody, Lafourche and Terrebonne Parish.
And they do $5 million better than what FEMA's done in this area.
Right. Do you have a website?
Hey.
Is there a website?
That's the truth.
And $5 million, hey.
Bayou
That almost
CF.
matches Will Wade's salary over there at LSU in basketball.
The website is bayoucf.org, BAYOUCF.org.
Okay.
So thanks a lot.
Good
Anybody
work.
that's
Great work. Thanks.
anybody that's watching and wants to do some real good, get on the website, get a donation over to them.
Awesome.
All right, we'll take a break on this one. We'll come back. We have a lot more. Harry's going to be interviewing Coach Will Wade, so we'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
Will Wade's in the house.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest Duval are partnering together to help you during this difficult time. Our hurricane insurance recovery attorneys will fight for you and your loved ones. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest Duval help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
Bacteria and germs run rampant in the air that surrounds us. It's more important than ever to keep our surroundings clean. Introducing BioPure. Specializing in commercial and residential disinfection applications, BioPure's advanced treatment process allows them to disinfect more surfaces quickly and effectively, with no inconvenience to staff or family members. Let BioPure help you create a better environment for everyone. Call for your free consultation today at 985-322-3003.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford & Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Martin, I'll throw it to you.
Before we go back to Harry, Stephanie with BioPure is going, every week I'm going to pull somebody out the audience to help with our sponsors. So Stephanie's going to take it away. What you got, Stephanie?
Hey, today we got our corporate sponsors, and we really appreciate you guys. We got South Louisiana Bank.
Yeah.
Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute.
And by the way, they reopened yesterday. Good job over there. Fantastic.
We got Barker Honda.
We got the Prince of Bel Air. Lester Beamer.
Yep.
Hall of Famer, Nicholls State University.
Always brings
we
the
might
big
add.
wig.
And he got a cell phone always in his hand.
We got Alfred and Associates.
Yeah, Alfred and Associates, obviously, they're taking care of their customers today. We appreciate that.
And we have BioPure Disinfecting and Environmental Services.
And where do you work, Stephanie?
Everywhere.
Yeah, we got Harvey and Mike.
They'll build you
Harvey
everywhere.
bought so much property in Terrebonne Parish, they probably spraying his own property. He's like Donald Trump over here. Had to throw that in. All right, so now you got to kick it to Harry Mccullough, who's with Coach Will Wade.
And here's Harry Mccullough.
Thank you. Hey, I am with, if you follow Twitter, some people call him the general. Some people call him the gangster. It's Will Wade. You wanna grab that? Martin, can you grab that for him? Thanks. But this is Coach Will Wade, of course, for the LSU Tigers. Your 5th year at LSU. Played 4.
Time flies.
And you've won, 86 games in 4 years, so you guys are doing all right.
Y'all keep up with all that. I don't know. Hey, around here, you better keep winning.
You better. Well, you're right.
Hey, Will got that right. You got that right.
Hey,
just figure that out.
Coach Wade, if I just say one thing, just win, baby.
That's exactly right. I heard your message earlier from Al Davis. I was paying good attention.
So you start on November 9th against Monroe. But let's first talk about something big for us down here. You guys are doing a charity event with Nicholls to raise money for Hurricane Ida.
Yeah, we did it a couple years ago when the tornado hit up in Ruston. We went to Louisiana Tech and played, and then as soon as Ida hit, I actually came down here the week afterwards I came with the Cajun Navy to not survey, but to help, and we passed some stuff out and delivered some stuff. And then I called Austin on my way back, and I said, hey, man, let's we have a scrimmage schedule. We had a scrimmage scheduled, actually. I said, if I cancel that, can we come down there and play you guys? And then I think half the money's going to Nicholls, and then the other half is going in the maybe we should give it to the Bayou Fund now.
Right.
But it's going in, and I wanted to make sure it was going in the area here because when storms hit, everybody talks about New Orleans and the major metropolitan areas, but this is there's a lot of good things going on down here, so we wanted to keep the money in the local community here. So hopefully we'll have a great crowd, and all the money's going to be kept locally here at Nicholls and other projects.
Well, man, I definitely appreciate it, and it seems like we can do it every year now between Lake Charles, the floods in 16.
Unfortunate, yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah. So let's talk about it. You've won the postseason 3 years, and we talk about this team. Transfer portal has been big for you. You lose a lot of guys, but you got a lot of depth and older guys coming.
We like that old portal. You can get in there and replace things quickly. So, we lost 3 guys who were all really, really good players. We returned 1 kid who was a double-digit scorer, Darius Days, who's a really good player. And then we went in the portal and got 3 high major transfers. We got a kid who was a starting point guard at Missouri. He was their starting point guard when they went to the NCAA tournament last year. We got a kid who was a McDonald's All-American who was at Illinois, who was one of their leading scorers on a number 1 seed. And then we've got a really good bigger kid out of Cincinnati who averaged 8 and 6 as a freshman at Cincinnati. So all 3 of them come from high major leagues because I knew we had to get guys that could come in and replace what we had immediately. And so with the transfer portal was good to us, but it's going to take us a little while to get everything together, but I'm excited about the group.
So when you look at your club, and like I say, you've had a lot of success with a lot of good players, but sometimes you talk about, hey, defense, I want to get back to what I did at Virginia Commonwealth.
Well,
and,
our defense ain't very good. Is that what you're saying?
No, I didn't.
No, I'll say that.
No, well,
it hadn't been very good.
Well, that's why I'm saying it seemed like that's
told
what you
the team the
do.
other day. I said, I'm tired of being 124th in the country on defense.
Correct.
One of the kids said, well, you like being 4th in offense. I said, well.
It doesn't seem like that's your nature. It seems like this is more. So what do you expect from this team? More offense?
I think we'll be better defensively. But like I said, I've said that the last 2 or 3 years. I thought we'd be better, and we hadn't been any better. So I do think we'll be improved. I think our personnel is a little bit better defensively. So I think we'll be improved. But it's like I told our guys, we can either talk about it or we can be about it. So we need to shut up and do it. Right. And so we'll see. We'll see. Right. We'll see during the season if we've improved like we need to improve defensively. But I think we've made good strides.
Right. Well, 19 was a magical year for everybody, right? Football finished it off, but you guys started it with a championship in the SEC. It's something that hadn't been done. Picked 6th this year in the SEC. What do you think? Talk about some of your players and how you think you.
Well, first thing is every year we've been here, we've finished higher than we're picked.
Right.
I don't know if you noticed, the media doesn't much care for me, so we usually get picked a little bit.
No, Will.
Not all
right up
media.
his
Not all
alley.
media.
Not all media.
National media, I should say.
Okay, all right.
Those SEC days are always great.
But we've always finished a little bit higher. We've always finished better than we've been picked. So I'm not worried about that. I think we got a good team. We got good personnel. We got to coach them right. We got to put them in the right positions so we can win. We got a big-time 5-star freshman, 7-foot kid who's extremely, extremely good, unbelievable offensive player. He's a little banged up. I don't know if he'll be able to play on Saturday. We're pretty banged up. We may only bring 7 or 8 guys down here that can actually play.
Couple of walk-ons.
So yeah, we could have a shell of our normal team this Saturday. But we've got some really, really talented guys, and we got to put it together. And I certainly think we're a lot better than 6th in the SEC, but we got to go out and prove it.
Right. Can you talk about some of your players? You talk about Darius Days. You got Fudge.
Alex Fudge, yeah.
I almost called him Frugier.
Alex Fudge is a freshman. Yeah, he's a freshman. Tari Eason's a transfer from Cincinnati, who's just a tough, rugged kid. We got a freshman, Brandon Murray, who a lot of people don't know much about. Everybody likes to talk about our recruiting. Well, we got him. He wasn't even ranked in the top 200 players in the country. And he's a hell of a player. He's tough as nails. He's from Baltimore. He can make shots. He can guard. He's gonna make a huge impact for us. And a lot of people aren't talking about him. He's Wayne's favorite player who's been to a couple of our practices. But he's going to be a really good player for us. Xavier Penson and Adam Miller, 2 of the transfers. We got some of the returners. Part of it is in the portal. Yeah, you got to go get the players that you want, but you got to keep the players you want too. And we were able to keep Eric Gaines and Mwani Wilkinson, and obviously Darius Days and Sharif O'Neal, guys who we think are all really, really good players and really, really talented players, and add those transfer in the freshmen, and we should be pretty good.
You guys?
Yeah, now, Coach Wade, when you look at, obviously, LSU and their whole athletic program, like track and field, they're unbelievable. Male or female, and you look at everything that occurs. So football, basketball, all the sports.
Gymnastics.
So gymnastics, you can go on and on. We got to be in the postseason, the Final Four in football. So to me, if you like Sweet 16, Elite 8, I think that's highly acceptable, if that makes sense.
Well, the Final Four's in New Orleans this year.
Yeah, so the Final Four, but I'm just trying to keep it real. You want to be amongst the best. Is that a fair statement?
Absolutely. We want to be at the top of the league. If you're at the top of the league, you'll be in the top 15, 20 in the country, and that's you keep giving yourself a puncher's chance, you'll eventually break through.
Coach, Bobby always talks about this. Man, I want dogs on my team. I want a dog. You got a couple of those on this team?
Yeah, I always say we want pit bulls, not poodles.
Hey, I like that.
So you want the pit bulls, not the poodles. But Brandon Murray, Tari Eason, we got some pit bulls.
All right, guys. Well, thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
We'll
see everybody
Saturday. And good luck to the year.
Thanks,
Thank
Coach.
you.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, we'll be right back with more Sports on the Bayou.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember Lafouche.
There are many strengths in our cancer center. I think one of the biggest is patients don't have to go elsewhere to get technology for their diagnosis and treatment of their cancer. Our treatment machine, the linear accelerator, allows us to pinpoint and treat cancers with more accuracy than ever was possible before. Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center provides leading-edge technology with the highest quality care and the best treatment options unique to each patient.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Normally Stan would do this segment on high school football, but Stan's coordinating and supervising today, so H, you got it, brother.
Let's start off our week in high school sports with a great story down the Bayou. South Lafourche versus Ellender. South Lafourche now undefeated in district play. Ellender gets on the board first, though. Cade Atkins with a 36-yard pass to Ryan James for the touchdown. But here comes South Lafourche. Patrick Gisclair, 17 yards. Jacob Curall. Look at him go. Oh, what a touchdown. And it's 19-14 at this point for South Lafourche. Ellender's Xavier Bryant then goes for 44 yards for the touchdown. Ellender's fighting strong, 22-19, but the fourth quarter we go. Xavier Bryant again is loose. This time he's gone for 62 yards. Good speed, running away from everybody for the touchdown. South Lafourche led it 34-28. But South Lafourche, Hunter Conley up the middle, strong running, 25 yards, touchdown. They go on to win it by the score of 40-28. Other action in the area included South Terrebonne and Vanderbilt. South Terrebonne looking for their first win in district play. Vanderbilt's undefeated. Dominic Kakia passed to Alex Castilla for the touchdown. They led it 14-0 Terriers. South Terrebonne's Christian Arsenault's pass picked off. William King going the other way. 24 yards for the pick six. 35-0. And it's Akia again setting up. His pass this time picked off by Dane Robichaud. Robichaud's going to find his way all the way through the defense. He's not going to score, but he goes 61 yards with the return. Later on, they would put it in the end zone and score, and then they go for the two-point conversion as Christian Arsenault will score. But not enough for the Gators as the Terriers win it 49-14. And finally, the surprise team in 5A, HL Bourgeois. They're undefeated in district play, or they're actually right there. Quarterback Gavin Vordick, 21-yard touchdown to Tyree Stark. Put him on the board. Kicker Austin Lede would put him up from 30 yards for the field goal, and it's 10-0 for Bourgeois Braves. Thibodeau's Ian Rodri will scramble. Rodri, 5-yard pass. Nice zip to Blake Joseph for the only touchdown of the game, but Thibodeau would fumble a little later on the pitch. Dewan Diggs is picking it up. Looks like Diggs for the Cowboys going the other way for the touchdown. And Bourgeois' first win against the Thibodeau Tigers since 2008. Oh my goodness. Look at the Bourgeois score. And the Braves are on top of the district play. They're actually right behind Destrehan. But they're 3-1 in district play, 3-1 for the season overall. Destrehan, they're 4-0. They do it, seems like, every year. East St. John, Hornville, Thibodeau, Terrebonne, and Central Lafourche round out the rest of the 5A district. And 4A, Assumption, South Lafourche, Vanderbilt, all undefeated in district play. All those teams affected by Hurricane Ida. Assumption not so much. But South Terrebonne, Ellender, and Morgan City still looking for their first win in district play. In the AAA, big game coming up this week between Lutcher and E.D. White. Both undefeated in district. Patterson and St. James are 1-1. Donaldsonville and Berwick looking for their first win. In single A, Vermilion Catholic leads the way along with Central Catholic, who is undefeated in district play at 4-2. Highland Baptist, Covenant Christian 1-1. Centerville and Hanson Memorial looking for their first win. In District 7 AA, Ascension Episcopal is 3-0, tied with Laurelville. Then you see the St. Mary group of Franklin and West St. Mary coming in at 3-1, 1-2. Then Delcom, Catholic High, New Iberia, Jeanerette, and Houma Christian looking for their first win in league play. So here's the games this week. Houma Christian will go at to Plaquemine to take on St. John. Covenant Christian will take on Central Catholic, and we talked about it, Central Catholic. still undefeated in league play. The other games have Assumption and Vanderbilt. They're at the top of that district, battling one another. Central Lafourche goes to Thibodaux. Lutcher and Erie White, that's the top of the 3A district. Ellender goes to Morgan City. And in 5A, Bourgeois will go to Hornville. That'll be a good win for the Braves as they're still at the top, still hoping to track down Destrehan for that league title. South Lafourche undefeated against South Terrebonne, looking for their first win in league play. Berwick goes to St. James, and Terrebonne will be in reserve to take on East St. John. And that does it for this week's high school wrap-up.
Was your business interrupted by Hurricane Ida? You may be entitled to compensation. Insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses, or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hafiz Duval are partnering together to fight for your fair payout. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hafiz Duval help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
Cardiovascular Institute of the South's Ambulatory Surgery Center offers patients advanced and innovative outpatient procedures using the latest technology and treatment options. The first of its kind in the region, this center provides our patients and their families with high-quality care in a convenient, comfortable, and safe environment at a lower cost. Trust your care to the cardiovascular care team you know and love at CIS. Learn more at cardio.com.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. This is the segment Bobby really loves. Dr. Pat.
I love it. Asking all them questions. Why you asking all them questions? Making statements. Asking all them questions.
Let's give the floor to our Doctor of Curiosity and the voice of the people, Dr. Pat Hagan.
Asking all them questions. Why you asking all them questions? Making statements.
Bobby, Mike, and Rich, and Martin, love y'all all. And Miss Lorraine, welcome back. And Miss Tana, my 5th grade math teacher, I know almost drove you out of teaching personally. And so anyway, y'all were talking high school just now with Mac, and probably one of the best high school games I ever saw was last year. Edie White went to Lutcher. The Lutcher quarterback led the team to 4 straight touchdowns in the second half. Edie White got down to the Lutcher 1.5 yard line with 1.5 minutes left. Kyle Lasang had so much respect for the Lutcher offense, he took a knee 3 times before he punched it in at the end of the game to win. So Lutcher's number 6 in the state and undefeated. Edie White's number 2 in the state and undefeated. And they play at Edie White Friday night. So Mike's the Lutcher man. He knows Lutcher high school football. What's your scouting report?
They got a lot of speed. Dwayne Winfield is one of the best players you will see in the Bayou River Parish area for the next 2 years. He's a former receiver that they turned quarterback. And you better corral him quick. Man, he's got super quick feet. He can throw the football, but he could also make a lot of plays running it. Lutcher's always been known as a very aggressive defense. And sometimes that's played against them. Because, man, if you're super aggressive, then you can catch you out of position. But has Edie White given up a touchdown this year offensively?
Not defensively.
To anyone?
Special teams, they gave up 2 to Ellender.
And that's it. Just think about that.
And you know what, Dr. Pat, you think of the storm and all the adversity. Now, you look at all the programs and how you handle that. Look, Lafourche bouncing back. But you look at like E.D. White. You look at Assumption. You look at H.O. Bourgeois. You look at Vanderbilt Catholic. That is a lot of stress on the coaches to get the team.
Also, Destrehan, Hornville.
But that's the river parish. I'm talking about the Bayou.
It's all the same, though.
But no, the Bayou and the river is different, Mike. Come on. Destrehan.
You all got hit by the storm the same.
I'm going to answer this real quick before
You all got hit the same.
In that E.D. White's off-season conditioning program has just taken another leap the last couple of years, beginning with Caleb was a senior. They got an off-season training program that doesn't matter if the hurricane or COVID.
The difference is their defense.
Yes, but they're more athletic than they used to be.
We'll be back with more sports on the hook.
Oh, that's the hook.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember Lafourche.
For years, Tony Alford and Priscilla Larpenter have been the foundation of what is now Alford & Associates. Their passion and vision have been embedded company-wide. It's about making sure that our community is strong and protected for the next generation.
I have such respect and pride for our company, and I'm excited to bring new and innovative ideas to our clients.
It's quite simple. It's the mindset of our organization to protect you from life's hardships.
Your benefits are our business.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford & Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Harry, I'll throw it to you, and I know who you got to throw it to.
Well, you know, we're going to talk about Nichols and Cornet Word. The Colonels did a great job. They came out, they were up 14-0, but unfortunately, Cornet Word scored the next 38 out of the 7 the rest of the
Well, you can't turn over the football.
Right.
That's what happened.
That's Lindsey Scott with a touchdown there, and then Lindsey again to Dejon Dixon, and they're up 14-0. Boy, Dixon does it every week.
Now, they're winning 14-0, and they lost this game. Remember that.
38-7.
No, they just lose it. They got beat up.
Cameron Ward.
Look at this.
That was a
51
great
yards.
pass.
Taylor Grimes for the touchdown. And a little while later, they run it in. So the Colonels are now up 21-7 at this point. And we're looking pretty good. But, boy, things went the other way pretty fast. They start coming back. Ward again to Grimes for a 10-yard touchdown. I made it 21-14. And the Colonels do a little reverse.
Come on, dude, don't throw that ball.
Yeah, picked off in the end zone.
How about
and that's one of the big plays of the game.
Run.
It was a 4th down, too.
It's a 14-point swing.
So it's intercepted and goes the other way. So we go to the third quarter now. And there's Ward again. Grimes again, this time for 49.
That was a very athletic play.
You know, we saw it against Southeastern, too. They got a little leaky on the backside of their defense. And
leaky.
Yeah.
And beyond.
At least they were guarded this time. They were tough.
Yeah.
But so they run away and hide. They go in for the touchdown. Kevin Brown run there. It's 38-21. So and the Colonels lose to Incornet Word, but they still have some games to go in the Southland Conference.
That's disappointing, though. Come on, you got a big lead like that, and it falls apart that quickly?
Should we fire the coach? I don't know.
No.
I'm just joking.
I'm always after Tim about his special teams are so bad. And he was like, Mike, you know who the special teams coach is? Me.
What's Tim's payout? Maybe we can work a deal.
No, right. No, look, I mean, things like that happen.
If
But
Lester
this
pays
team particularly is not great on the back end right now. They're having trouble going man-to-man. And they, quite honestly, look a little bit like LSU's defense last year, where people are getting lost.
And no
from
pass
big
rush
plays.
either.
Right.
That's the other part.
We'll be back with more Sports on the Bayou.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest of All are partnering together to help you during this difficult time. Our hurricane insurance recovery attorneys will fight for you and your loved ones. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest of All help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
At Barker Honda, we're overflowing with used cars.
We have over 100 used cars, trucks, and SUVs priced to sell.
Many units under $8,000. Save thousands on light and used certified vehicles.
At Barker Honda, every unit goes through a 120-point inspection.
So you can buy with confidence.
Come see us today here at Barker Honda Used Cars.
Because you know it's better at Barker.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
Thank you for watching, and we'll be back next week with another version of Sports on the Bayou.
Who that?